July 1st, 1991, Houston, Texas. A 22-year-old con by the name of Spencer Goodman gets off of the prison bus. They just dropped him off in the city, and he's finally out of prison. He did a few years for a robbery. He's been in and out of trouble practically his entire life. Now, there's a halfway house that he's supposed to report to by 5 p.m. So it's in the morning, it's about 10 a.m. So he has plenty of time to make his way via the city bus to this halfway house. Maybe they can clean him up. He'll get a job. They won't charge him any rent. He'll save up some money, and then he'll be a free man in about 6 months. And then he can do basically whatever he wants. But Spencer, he doesn't have any plans on doing that. He just doesn't want to go. He's a free man. Why does he want to go back to a place where people are going to tell him what to do? So he starts walking around, and he's walking and walking and walking, and boy, his feet are throbbing. He finally just gets tired. It's nighttime. He sees a train track, so he kind of hides in the train tracks, and he tries to go to sleep, but he has a very uncomfortable night, being that it's July, it's Houston, very humid, and for the entire night he's attacked by mosquitoes. So it's a very miserable night for one Spencer Goodman. So the next day he wakes up. Now he's tired of walking. His feet, they're getting blisters, and he needs to find a car. So as he's walking in West Houston, he sees a woman driving in her car, kind of I think it was like a sporty looking Cadillac. So he sees this car, and he sees this woman driving behind the wheel. Her name is Cecil Ham. She is the wife of Bill Ham, who's the manager of ZZ Top. So he sees her, and he's like, okay, I'm just gonna punch her, knock her out, take her car, take her purse, and then I'll be a free man. I got a car, and then I'll just head out. So as soon as he sees her, he starts formulating his plan, right? So he kind of sneaks up behind her, and he punches her right under the left side of her ear. So she falls out, and he punches her again. She's out cold. He throws her in the car and starts making her way out of town. He gets to about Uvalde, right? And something's, maybe he's thinking, how could I get myself out of this? I don't know. I've been out of prison for less than 24 hours, and I've already beat up a woman and carjacked her. I know what I'll do. I'll break her neck. And that's exactly what he did. He learned this move from watching too many martial arts films. So he breaks her neck. He checks for a pulse. She's dead. So he drives to around Uvalde, Texas, somewhere in that area, and he dumps her body in this abandoned area, and he heads out, right? He's out of here. Now, a few days later, after her disappearance, it's starting to go all over the news that the manager, Billy Ham, his wife has been missing. It'd be 1 week, it'd be 2 weeks. She had been missing for quite a while. And they would not find her body until later, after August 7th, when Spencer was in Colorado, and the police get behind him. They run the plate. The car is stolen, comes back to the missing person, Cecil Ham, and they try to pull him over, but he ain't gonna go in without a fight. So they get on a high-speed chase, and the only reason why they caught him was because he crashes the vehicle into some embankment. So they grab him, put him in cuffs, take him down to the station, and basically he gave a full-on written confession. And in the confession, he states,
On July the 1st of 1991, I was released from the old Bexar County Jail. I was given a bus ride back to Houston, Texas by that Whack and Hunt facility and dropped off on the east side of town at 9:30 a.m. I was given my papers to report to Texas House at 5:30 p.m. that night. Instead of going to the halfway house, I started walking west. I walked most of the night. During the day, on Tuesday, July 2nd, 1991, I started walking out Memorial Drive. During the mid-afternoon, it started raining, and I walked into a Walgreens parking lot maybe about 4 p.m., just hung around the parking lot for about 20, 30 minutes. I saw a white female drive up in a 1991 red Cadillac. She pulled up in the fire lane along the blind side of the parking lot and then went into a Walgreens store. At that time, I was not really watching her, but I don't think that she stayed inside the drugstore very long. When the lady came out of the store, she opened the driver's door and started getting into the car. I decided at that point that I wanted to take her car from her. I've been walking for a long time and my feet hurt and I wanted some transportation. I ran up behind her while the driver's door was still open. She was sitting behind the wheel and I shoved her over with one hand and I punched her just under the left ear to knock her out. She fell over to the passenger side and was knocked unconscious. I got in the driver's seat. I think that I may have hit her in the back of the neck to make sure that she was unconscious. I think that the keys to the car were in her hand because they fell to the floor. I picked them up and I started the car, looked around to see if anyone had seen what had happened. It was raining. There was nobody around the parking lot. I first pulled out of the parking lot and turned right on Memorial going west. But there was a subdivision down that way, so I turned around and went to the Dairy Ashford for a ways and then turned off towards the west. I know that I was near a high school off of Dairy Ashford. I pulled off the main road and parked on a side road off behind this little building. I then used martial arts and I broke the lady's neck. I don't know why I did it, but I know that I was lost. I then put her in the trunk of the car. I did not have on a shirt because my shirt was wet from the rain. I was also wearing jogging pants. After I put her in the trunk, I drove down this road. I was right by this high school when I saw this guy in a truck. I then asked him how to get to I-10. I followed the guy's direction. As I was driving, I went through the lady's purse and got out her wallet. Found about $20 and some change in her purse, some credit cards. I saw an Exxon gas station on Highway 6 and Westheimer, so I stopped and filled up with gas. I used the Exxon gas card and signed her name on the card. I got on I-10, I headed west. I knew that she was dead when I put her in the trunk because I felt her pulse. Signed, Spencer Corey Goodman.
pretty much an open and shut case. And on January 18th, 2000, he was promptly executed in the execution chamber via lethal injection. This is his grave. And actually, it's pretty rare to find somebody that has another marker other than the one that the prison gives, but somebody paid for it. I don't know, if probably a family member. So, as he's being strapped into the gurney, Bill Ham, the husband of Cecil, he's looking at him, and Spencer turns around, looks at him, and says, "How you doing?" And Bill said, "Great." And that was it. That was it.